Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night Live stream. Hope y'all had a good week. And we're short-staffed a little bit this evening. We were expecting Link to be here, but I sent him an email early this morning. Hadn't heard back from him, and it's probably my fault because he sent me an email last Friday. So he may be on in a little while. He may not. Uh, Gene had storms rolling through, and he's trying to get his internet back up and running, so he'll probably be in here in a little bit. And I sent a link to Thorzak's, so he'll probably be in shortly. And we're glad that we've got these great guys we've got here. We're glad we got those folks over in the side chat. So, man, it's August.
Yeah.
Yep.
What in the wide world of sports is going on?
I don't know what about the rest of you guys. Man, it's just flying by this summer.
It is. And I want to ask CW how his week as a whole's gone. Not today. But how's your week been, CW?
Oh, okay. Until today. Yeah, it's been all right. Had a nice time last night on Christopher the 740's chat. We had a Steel Valley Castings on it. It was a nice chat with him. Walter was on there with us. It was a nice talk, and we had. I didn't get to the range again. I was going to go today, but lost my drive for that. And then hopefully fishing tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there.
Fishing should help.
Hillbilly, how was your week?
I was pretty good, buddy. It's pretty warm here anyway. But pretty good. I didn't know Christine had a chat. I didn't think he was doing them anymore. I didn't get no stinking alert about it or whatever. It didn't pop up on my bill. Doggone it. Yeah, I missed that. I'll have to go back and search for it and watch it. Oh, man. Everything's just been going good. It's been awful warm. Trying not to be out in the heat if I can keep from it. But, it's been a good week.
A lot of jail takeovers.
Yeah. How about you, Scotsman?
It's good to be here. It's been a long week, busy week at work, and probably did too much. But that's okay. We'll get through it. Just a quick update for folks. If you're out there and you're watching, got some X-rays done today. Should have those hopefully Monday, and then orthopedic on Tuesday. So I'll keep you guys posted as to what's going on.
Good.
And I'll try and get you a video middle of the week and let you know what they say once I go in to see them. And we'll go from there. I did get a pistol light in for review. I'm waiting on an email back from the company because there is a major issue with this light. And I want to hear what their response is first before I make the video. I'm still going to make it regardless, but I'm going to give them the opportunity to try and make it right. And if they don't, I'll let you know they don't make it right. But on top of that, I got a pretty awesome mail call coming too. Picked that up today. So
nice.
Good to be here. Good to see everyone out there, and always appreciate being here with you guys. Six, how was your week, brother?
Oh, it was pretty good. Another work week. Got my air rifle put back together. Cut grass. The wife got her rig in this week. She's over there right now practicing with it. But other than that, that's about it for me.
I thought you'd be softening it up by working on getting it softer.
Oh no, it's fine like it is.
Oh, okay. Because that's what she said. She said in the video something about breaking it in.
Well, one of them was sticking, and she actually just switched guns, and it works better out of the other side. So
Yeah.
That's handy.
we had it stuffed in a sock for 2 days too. So how about you, Walter?
I actually had a decent week. I got out and got some exercise, hikes and walks done this week and spent some time reloading and shooting. Got to the range a couple of times, and we got a nice surprise yesterday. Some of you know that one of the range safety officers up there has become my apprentice for reloading, and she comes once a week for 2 or 3 hours, and each week we talk about something else, use some different gear, and talk about the practices and stuff. She's a good study, but she's Native American slash Mexican descent for real, not like our current presidential candidate who claims one thing and is something else. But so she says, as I'm leaving, she goes, "Hey, Walt, wait a minute, I got something for you." And she gives me this big stack of homemade tortillas that she'd made that morning. I ate 3 of them on the way home. And they're good. Let me tell you, man, they were all homemade goodness. So I was happy, and I got some time in today on that RL 550B that I upgraded, and rocked out a whole bunch of 44 special on it today. And at one point I thought that press was just singing back at me, and then I realized it was just a low primer alarm going off. But so it's been a good week for me. We got thunderheads building up over the local mountains, and that's not a good thing here at all at this time of year in California. The thunderstorm is about as welcome as a snake in a toilet. We don't want that. It'll go up in a hurry if we get a lightning strike over there. It's already up in smoke anyway. Whole state's burning. But other than that, good in Casa de Viejo. Andy, how's your week going, buddy?
Me. Besides hot as hell, 85% humidity. How about you there, CW? Where your humidity at?
It's thick. It's near 90.
85%, 90 degrees.
Mm.
We've had a breeze. The winds was blowing. So, if you were in the breeze and not standing in the sun, it wasn't too bad. But I just kind of, nothing special week. I've been pulling my hair out. I have one of my presses set up for 38, and I know I have 2 sets of dies, another for 357. I've been looking all week for my dies. All week, not in the boxes, and I'm good about that. I'm pulling my hair out. I'm opening everything up. I gave up. I downstairs today trying to come up with a load for that bullet, the 195 grain 357, and in zinc, so it's not 195. It's like 119. And so I decided just figuring that out, getting lengths figured out for the for overall length and stuff, and I decided to pull this other box out I have under the bench, which has normally it's just blank turrets in there. I have a ton of turrets for the 3-hole turrets, and I pull that box out to get something out of it, and I open the box, and there it is, the head, the three turret head all set up for 38, 357, whatever you set it to. I said, I can't believe I'm doing this all week, and it was right there. That's not where I normally put it. Again, it's like didn't make sense. So anyway, got the press back up and got it all set up, ready to load that bullet. So figured out, found good load data online from some of my older website sources that I had, and got some real low data. It was close to what I was working with. Overall lengthwise, I make it. It's a long bullet, so I make it fit in the pistol, and I should say revolver. And then I took that and put it in the Rossi, and the chamber's no problem. Getting it out with a bullet head still in, it's a little tough, but the chamber's easy. So I'm all set to go to start loading. Maybe tomorrow or Sunday, I'll start loading up some ladder loads, 10 of each. Load and hopefully find the one that works good in both guns, so I don't have to load two different things. So that's about what I did this week.
Cool.
How you doing, Dave? How was your week, bud?
You must have his speakers off.
There he goes.
Well, actually, I had a really good week. Actually, I had a pretty good week. It was pretty good. I went to physical therapy. I got a few things in the mail that I had ordered. Like I was telling CW, I'm working on a project right now with a 303 Brit that I have. I'm going to cast up some bullets and work up a load for it, and just kind of play around with that. Other than that, just enjoying life, dude. Enjoying retirement. It's pretty nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
hush. You rub it in every chance you get, don't you?
I'm retired. I get up every morning at 4:30, go to work, and at 3 o'clock, I'm retired.
Y'all don't understand.
Yeah,
Dave will call me at random times during the week and just say, "Hey, man, it's great to be retired. Working sucks. I feel sorry for you."
It is. My
Here's
best
the
advice to anybody out.
thing. They say retired. What they're actually saying is retarded. Retarded.
I don't know. I
Anyway,
took 2 weeks off at one time together with no plans of like going anywhere, just trying to do some things and relax. And by the fourth day, I was so bored it was ridiculous. I was glad to go back to work. I don't know. Retiring for
I haven't
me,
been going through.
would be crazy.
I don't miss the rat race. I don't miss getting out there on the highway in the morning and then waiting in line to show my badge. And I don't miss that at all. Right? The first couple of months, I guess it's one of those things that's a life changer because you're getting out of the routine of what you used to do. My thing is though, I mean, I can't tell people to retire, but I'm going to tell you what. Once you make the decision to do it, you wait a little while, and you're going to see the world in a whole different way. And you know what? Hey, the only advice I can say is, financially get yourself in order and retire as soon as you can, because life is short, and the way they've got it figured out now is probably about 20 years after you grow it out. So that's 20 years you're going to get for your whole life of work. So try to retire as soon as you can. That's all I'm saying. Make some sacrifices. Do it. But enjoy it. Have that freedom. Yeah, it's freedom.
I don't know. I enjoy being busy. I mean, I don't have a physical job. It's mine is more mentally stressful, dealing with mistakes all day long and having to fix them, and I do receiving at the moment, but it's not like working for a guy and I'm just counting boxes. Customers send us parts to work on and stuff like that, and they send 30,000 pieces, and you got to count them out and all that stuff, and verify part numbers and date codes and all kinds of other stuff. It's all military level based stuff, so it keeps me all day. I'm just busy. The day flies by for me. At 2:45, I clean up and leave. So I'm there at 7. I'm there whenever they open the door between 6:30 and 7. I'm eating my lunch at the deli, at breakfast, I should say, at the deli, relaxing, watching television, come to work, got the music on or YouTube channel on as I'm working. And I look up, oh shit, it's lunchtime. And, I look up again, oh, it's time to go home. I come home, sit with the wife for an hour or so, watch some TV with her, come up on my computer, do my thing, check all my stuff, and then I usually wind up in the basement reloading or something. So I don't know. I'm busy all day. I don't know that I could be busy like that all day at home. Okay.
Well, believe me, I have found a lot of different projects around the house. I've been involved with. I'm plenty busy, but I'm busy when I want to be. It's nice.
One of the one of the things with this place that I'm in, it's there's always something to fix. All I can say is I'm glad I don't own it, but there's always something to fix.
Always something.
And I'm just, I'm lucky I got the skills to fix the majority of the things that go wrong.
Battery went dead in the wife's cars this week. And that's something that's outrageous. $200.
Oh yeah, battery prices are off the wall.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you guys a question. You might know. I don't, so I'm going to ask. So this current truck I have, and I'm not happy with it by any means. I hate it. But anyway, here recently, when I go to accelerate, it almost seems like it's struggling to find the gear. Unfortunately, it's an automatic. I'm not happy about that either. But you can feel it in the pedal, and you can hear it, and it almost feels like I'm getting the pushback, and then it jumps into the gear. What could that be?
When's the last time it was serviced? Transmission was serviced.
I don't know.
What year is it?
How many
It's
miles on the car?
a 17.
How many
and
miles
there's
are you on it?
about 97,000, 98,000, something like
Okay.
that.
17, it probably it doesn't even have a dipstick or nothing on it, so you can't service it.
Well, a 17 probably still has the dipstick, but
No, I got an 05 out there doesn't have a dipstick on it.
well, that's not that common back then. But yeah, there's a sight bowl somewhere on the car to see what your transmission fluid. Either that, or you got to take a bolt out, and it should just be oozing out, but the car's got to be level. God will tell you if it's full or not. If it's nothing oozing out, then you got to try to put something in the hole to find out where the level is. So you could be low on transmission fluid, okay, or clutches are going.
Okay.
I would say take it and have the transmission serviced. You need new fluid and a filter.
Well, it's if he's never done it and he's got 99,000 miles on it, I wouldn't change the fluid.
No, you don't want to do that.
You'll drop all the grit out of it, and then it won't work right. It'll be worse.
You can change the filter, drain the fluid, change the filter, but put the fluid back in. But more than likely, it's electronic, so I'm sure it is. So they can put it on their computer, and it might be something as easy as a shifting solenoid, which would just be an electronic part or sensor.
That's correct. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you might only have to pay for a diagnostic. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They plug it in, they look at it, and they can kind of tell what's going on with it just by the diagnostic. Because like they said, a lot of these transmissions, they're electronic now. They shift it.
Yeah.
It's only been the last couple of weeks I started doing it, and it just feels really weird. And it like I said, it just starts to drop, and then it'll go again. But you can feel it in the pedal, and you can hear the difference in the sound, and then it'll take off. It's just really weird.
Well, get it checked out. Don't keep driving it like that, because if it's a low fluid situation, you're definitely going to be causing more damage. Okay, so if it's an electronic solenoid that needs to be replaced, that's not going to affect the transmission too much. But if it's slipping, you're going to start wearing the clutches down. So you want to definitely get it checked out.
Right. Bulldog, man, I love you, brother.
I've got
I was born at night, but I wasn't born that freaking late at night.
got that 2001 Ford F-150, and I have never in my life gone as long as I have without ever opening that hood up. Literally, last week was the first time I opened it. It has 47,000 miles on it. First time I've ever opened the hood myself. I think I can get the oil changed nowadays. There's nothing underneath there that you can work on, hardly.
What kind of car is it?
It's a 21 F-150.
I'm gonna tell you what. Since I retired, I mean, a tank of gas lasts me over a month. I mean, you know, I'm not driving it every day. I mean, yeah, you'd be amazed what you save on fuel and you don't work
yeah.
anymore. It's crazy.
I filled up today. It was $65.
Dang.
I can run almost 2 weeks. If I don't go anywhere but to and from work, I can go 2 weeks on the tank of gas. And I drive about a 44-mile round trip.
I'm right at about 21 miles round trip.
So just to and from work, round trip is roughly 30 miles or so. Back when I was doing 3 jobs, I would burn through a tank of gas in 2 days. Kyle, it's unfortunately, I'm not happy about it, man. But it's a 2017 F-150. And I've had nothing but issues since I got the damn thing, and now I got this issue where it seems like it's just dropping, and something's just not right. And all the other issues that I had with it have been small little things here and there, but this one's obviously more of a bigger issue. But
Yeah, that's
it's been nothing but a pain in my rear end.
I don't know that I've had quite a few Hyundais over the last several years. I'm driving I have 2 cars that I have. The 2008 Hyundai Elantra with just turned 150,000 miles on it. It runs perfectly. No leaks, no nothing. And my other car is a recent purchase. Well, it's 2 years ago. I bought a Hyundai Palisade 2022 model, and that thing is unbelievably good, even with gas. It's a 6-cylinder. It's not a 4-cylinder, and it's I'm getting 23 miles to the gallon with it. It drives like a tank. It's heavy, smooth. 2 years, no issues. And the wife's got a 2017 Hyundai Elantra. The only thing we did to that car is put a set of tires on it and brakes. So, you know, I've been having very good luck with Hyundais. So
Well, I'm driving a 2014 Hyundai Elantra right now. It's a GT hatchback,
okay.
6-speed transmission. It's a fun little car to drive. So, Daniel had an offer for a $50 donation if somebody could guess what gun. That's all I know. He never elaborated on the question. So I'm starting to question if he really wants to make that $50 donation.
So he tagged me. I'm not going to say what it is, but he tagged me, and one of the first things he said was he put a deposit down on the gun, and it was not a CZ.
Hey, Link.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
You made it.
Better now.
Yeah.
Jamie, before we start with Link, you have a piece of paper to write on?
Yeah.
No,
What
Jamie.
what do you need?
No, Jamie. I want to give you some things that I want to donate in those prizes, so you know what the hell to do. Well, okay.
Okay, let me find a pen and a piece of paper.
But just before we start with Link, that's all. I figured I don't want to interrupt once you get started with that. I got a lot of stuff I can put up in there for people that would be good deals. Okay, and it would be winner's choice in some of the stuff. Depends on what they what they want, but I can keep going with stuff. So first item,
You're giving away the Z28, right?
yeah, for about 30 grand, I'll give it away. Yeah. The first thing will be 70-30 tin, 70% tin, 30% lead. Everybody that I've sent it to knows what it is. Roughly 10 pounds in a small flat rate box. That's worth $300 if you went out to buy 70-30 solid. Go look it up on Roto Meadows. Okay, it's like $30 a pound. So 10-pound box, roughly, whatever. Sometimes you only get 9.5. Sometimes you get 10.5. That would be one. Okay. I can also offer wheel weight lead. I'm not sure how much the weight is in the small flat rate box. About 13 pounds, I think, 12 pounds. Okay, that I get in there because I use those round muffin panning. It's the small ones, not the big ones. So I get quite a bit in there. So I want to offer that up to somebody as a prize. And again, if I can offer a tin up to 5 people, it doesn't matter. Okay, so you can say, I got 4 boxes of tin to give away. Whatever you want, whatever we work up. Also, of course, I got zinc bullets in some calibers, so I can offer up various calibers, whatever fits it in the box quantity wise. If they don't want zinc, I do have most of the same bullets available in lead. So I have quite a bit to offer up. And it depends on the person who wins on the bullets, what they want. Well, I only shoot 9mm. All right, I'll give you a box full of 9mm. So whatever they want to play with. So I just wanted you to have that information as you're figuring how many things to raffle off. And to me, it's not an issue. If you want to put up 3 boxes of tin, you want to put a couple of boxes up of lead, and then the bullets will be, you get 3 or 4 boxes of bullets, winner's choice, so whatever you want to do. Okay, if that helps you out for your list of giveaways.
Absolutely, man. We'll probably put that with Georgia Shooting Connection.
Yeah, but whatever. I don't. I'm dealing with you. I plan to send some money to Gene to get his, I think, shooter's package.
Yeah.
Because I don't need the loading stuff, so I want to put some money in, but I get him something from the shooter's package. Not that I per se need anything, but if I'm going to give something, put some money towards something that's something I could use, and that's about it. I didn't want to interrupt Link, so wanted to get that going for now.
Let's do this. Broke Loader 2. Cooter Brown's in jail, man. He's locked up tonight, so he won't be able to make it.
Cooter's busy adjusting the signal, man.
All right, so Link is gone to get some products to show us, and while he's doing that, let's go through the side chat and Walter. What should we type? Maybe
Link.
Link is good.
There we go.
All right.
Link is our guest tonight, guys, from Discovery Optics. We'll put his website up here shortly.
I didn't think you're supposed to share links on here.
Yeah, you say that now, so me and you probably getting a strike later in the week. So if y'all don't know, me and Hillbilly had a fun time this week doing a couple of videos for the hashtag Heal the Weasel fundraiser. Him and tater salad. Yeah, they call it tater salad. Ron White. Good to see Big Al out there. We got Walter. He's first in because he made up the what we're typing in. So obviously he's going to be first. There's Daniel. God is my judge. 6-shooter Texans on the panel and in the side chat. So is CW Longshot. So is 6-shooter Texan again. There's Abigail. Andy 79Z28 is on the panel and in the side chat. So is Hillbilly Up. There's Edward Petty. Ricky _Baird. Big Al. Corners and Doors. Dale Pogue. Tactical Fud. Rollis Carvelis, the gun genius. 01 guy. Big Al. Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. R-Tack and Daughters. Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog. Abigail Finnegan. Lakeview Outdoors. Idaho Rogers has been missing in action, and there he is. Good to see my brother from Idaho out there. Walks Fletcher. Ron 28 Matters. Yukon 454, Tactical Rabbit 308, Kyle. American Hillbilly is on the panel. Mr. Pollard is out there. Fuzz T Fork 8, Big Al, Timothy Burkett. Let's see. Dwayne 7834, Jesse Wells WI, Jesse Wells I don't know. I think that's all. Let's scroll on down. Christian Grest, welcome, brother. Papa's Place is out there. Garage Guy 879. Big Al says we need 10 more thumbs up. Thoughts of an Old Soldier. Idaho Rogers says the rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. And I think that's all. Daniel God is my judge is carrying on his own little personal fundraiser in the side chat. So I want to see who wins this $50 donation to hashtag Heal the Weasel. And I'm really interested in that. I guessed a Smith & Wesson 686. Apparently that was wrong. So
let me give you guys a little bit of a hint, and I'm not gonna go into detail, but think higher end.
Like High Point.
Yeah. Go all the way to the top.
That's like you carried away there.
High Point on steroids.
Like you carried away there, Hillbilly.
it's a stiletto. Yeah, it's a stiletto.
All right, I'll add one last thing to it, and then I'll leave it alone at that. I'm not gonna say another word after that. It's a wheel gun.
Well, that bearded tattooed guy got it. It's a Colt Python. Maybe an anaconda. So, Link, how's your week been, buddy?
It's been busy because there's a lot of things going on right now, and then I think most of our sales are based on Amazon, and the Amazon's coming up with they call it busy season. So I was helping a lot of, and also I was helping a lot of colleagues to getting ready to be sent out because we already set up our office site. I think was just last month in California, and then we were running a warehouse and also an office site in Chino, California, and then I think our company is sending out one and actually two more people, and then I'm in charge of like training them, teaching them how to talk to Americans.
Good. Good plan.
Yeah, and also there's quite a few projects I was involved in. I think I showed Mike in the last streams, and yeah, and I was helping them with designs and everything. I think, and also there's a few. I got a new responsibility to be in charge of the social media platforms, and I was just working on that pretty much constantly and then nonstop, close to 10 hours per day, and then just yeah, it's a little bit crazy for me. But I've been enjoying it because I like getting involved in things related to shooting, and also for the most part, I think I have a purpose. Basically, it's pretty much the same as what the company is doing to bring the products with the best value to the market, and then trying to help other people to try to save some money and then get better products.
So I sent you an email this morning. I was starting to panic when I didn't hear from you or didn't hear back from you, and then I just sent you a link and started praying. Uh, but I did some research, and I want to tell everybody that Link is up early on a Saturday morning to be with us this morning. It's already 8 o'clock on Saturday morning where he lives right now. And I was worried about which time zone in China that he's actually in. And then I found out it don't matter. They're all is one big time zone, even though it
Yeah,
covers 5 time zones. Yeah. So thank you for being here, man.
yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, I almost slept in. I can tell you that, but I mean, I remember it's Friday night, so and I also like I think I enjoyed the last streaming session quite a bit, and then I mean, you guys are all nice, really nice guys, and love to be with you all.
Well, we're honored to have you, and I'm sure that there's some questions from the panel members, and I'm sure we'll be getting some from the side chat as well. And Christian Gress says he's not familiar with Discovery Optics, so why don't you introduce yourself to the side chat and tell them about Discovery Optics as a corporation?
Yeah, Discover Optics. We're founded in 20. We started manufacturing and making our own optics back in 2014, I think. Yeah, and but the company was founded in 2006, and then we started with a similar idea with what Vortex was doing. We did OEM, we did outsource and OEM, and then we brand our optics according to the need from the market. But we start to manufacture all of our optics and scopes, rifle scopes, and also accessories since 2014. And we are an optics company based in Changsha, China. And I think in terms of U.S. market, we started our Amazon store about 3 years ago, and then in between we did some we're trying to figure out okay what route we are trying to take, and then right now we are basically stick with basically trying to build our brand upon bringing the market the best value optics and also accessories, and then the company is currently operating in, we call it full scale production, which means we design, we manufacture and assemble all of our optics in house. And I think that's pretty much it. And then if you guys have any other questions, you can just put in the side chat and throw at me. When I see it, I will address it as soon as possible because I'm in the side chat as well.
Awesome. Do you mind if I say one thing quick, Jamie?
Yeah.
So through Link, Discovery is also donating. This is one of the, try to hold it where everybody can see it. One of the scopes that they're donating for the giveaway for Scotsman. Nice 3x9 verbal, and these mounts, I was really impressed with these mounts too. And yeah, so I want to thank them. It's not this one, it'll be a brand new one. So anyway, and if you're wondering about kind of like what uh quality and what they look like, do you mind if you can say, Link, you guys made for some scopes for a few other companies, and one of them everybody knows and probably owns one.
Oh yeah. So during I think it was in between 2017 until 2019, Discovery was partially involved in OEMs for OEM basically making scope for Arkin when they started. So they made the first generation of Arkin SH4, and then the EP4, and then the first the prototypes and also the small batch production of the EP5 and also the SH4 Gen 2. That's yeah, it's a little bit of the side story, but we usually don't really talk about that unless people ask. But
Yeah.
it's more of like I don't know, like because the Arkin's lots of Arkin's core employees actually used to work for Discovery Optics. We do have a pretty good relationship in between each other, and then there are, I mean, the companies based in the same province, which in your terms is like in the same state. So, and then we actually, so from where from my office, I can actually see Arkin's office building and floor from where I live. It's like their office, not facility. So,
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's something that's pretty common in the scope world, in the optics world. You'll see that where companies are building for other companies. And Link, I thank you for throwing that in. It's a huge thing, so appreciate that, man.
yeah, no problem at all. Anytime.
So, as I was telling you in my email, last week we were talking about PRS, and what does your company have for precision rifle series shooting?
Yeah, so when we first decided to come back in the U.S. Market, we actually were trying to decide, okay, what market we are trying to target towards, and then one option I offered was the we call it like just the precision rifles, which I actually brought one of these. You guys can see it. This is difficult. I'm just gonna pull up an Amazon page. Can I just share it with you guys, or like just
Okay,
no? Actually, our website would be a little bit easier. Just one second.
that probably worked
Yeah.
better.
So yeah. So we have this. I consider it like the best value entry level PRS scopes here. I think. Okay, let me share the screen really quick. Just one sec. Present. Share screen. Okay. Can you guys see it now?
No.
There we go.
Yeah,
There
this
you
is this one is our I call it flagship scope we designed for specifically for PRS because it has a PRS in
That's an ugly
its
scope
name.
right there.
Really? Okay. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, that looks much better. I was trying to get it bigger on the screen, and I just messed that up.
Is this better now?
Yes, that's something better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 5225 by 56. It has pretty much all the features that you're expecting in the PRS scope. I mean, we're not trying to compete against the Loophole or 10 Theta, but it's the exact same specification in terms of when you look at it. And then it has a tactical turret with the zero stop, focused down to 25 yard, and then also a pretty hefty weight as well. And then optically, I would say I actually compared this to a Vortex Venom 5-25 with the same spec, and also the Arkin. And I personally consider this is optically is noticeably better than all those two, and also it's pretty. I would say it's closer to what the Vortex Strike Eel offers. And then you guys can see the specification sheet here, and then 36 mils of internal adjustment elevation, and then the quite hefty weight too. You guys can see it's 44 ounces, not a lightweight optics, and then it's pretty long too. I think it was in inches, 15.6 inches. And then this is the price is coming right now, but when it started, it was for $399. It's like $400. And then it's the price of the Arkin SH4 SH4J 6224. But on this performance, this one performs much. I mean, I consider it performs better than the Arkin EP5, and also probably everything else in this price range on the market. And then come with some pretty good accessory too. In the box, we offered one of these leveling, like little leveling kit, was just for the user's convenience. A set of rings if you decide to use them, and also the sunshade flip top caps.
Oh, very nice.
Guys, let me tell you something. With the rings included, that is
Yeah, that's killer.
and I'm waiting on a scope that I can come and do a review on from Link, and they were out of the rings, and that's what I'm waiting on, is to get the rings and the scope. So this reticle is almost just like my Arkin.
Yeah, so I'm actually pretty aware of what Arkin EP5, I mean, the scope is, and then I personally consider the EP5 as a very competent and very capable optics. But I think we just took advantage of what we designed this scope a little bit later than what Arkin did. So we kind of took some advices from the market when people commenting on the Arkin EP5, and then actually implement the improvement compared to Vortex Venom, and also both Vortex Venom and also the Arkin EP5. So one different thing I can tell is that when I look at this scope, it actually has really good depth of field, which means that if you are shooting, let's say, a target at 500 yards, and then after that you need to shoot something like closer to 800 yards, and then you actually do not need to move the parallax that often, because we designed that specifically for the convenience of the PRS shooter. You guys probably notice that this scope is a little bit, actually quite a bit longer than what Arkin EP5 and also the Venom is. That's one of the things we implemented, just to try to get the best depth of field for the PRS shooter that we can, and then also maintaining the same quality of the optical image that we can possibly squeezing in this much money for. So yeah, that's I think that's pretty much everything about this scope. And also this reticle, I consider this a pretty competent design, because a lot of people just prefer. I would say there are two main branches of how people design the PRS reticles. There's half mil or 0.2, and then we actually decide, okay, why don't we just put both of them in there? So on a horizontal line, you can see there's a half mil mark above the above, and then the 0.2 mil underneath. So
Okay, we got a few questions out there. First of all, I want to ask, what is your warranty? I'm assuming it's a lifetime warranty.
yeah, we do have a lifetime warranty, covers all of the defects or problems that yes, we do offer lifetime warranty. Covers all the defects and also the things that come from the factory. And I would say it's on par with pretty much everyone, or we just call it standard in the industry. And then if it has problems, just reach out to our customer service, and then we will get it replaced or refunded, basically, according to the warranty terms, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. I
Um,
think.
what,
I think.
one question with that warranty, um, just so folks know,
Mhm.
we see this a lot in the industry. Is it a transferable warranty? So, say I have it and I pass it on to someone else, is it a transferable warranty?
Yes, it is. So if any of you guys actually have a Discovery Optics, and you guys can probably see in most our scopes, we actually stamp a production number or serial number underneath the setup part of our scope, and then that's what would be asked during the warranty service. So it's definitely transferable, and then it's like every single unit of scope has its own serial number. So I think that should answer your question, right?
Awesome.
Yes, it is transferable.
What about I got a good one. A lot of people have Thompson contenders, short barrel pistols, basically.
Mhm.
And like me myself, I just wanted to add a scope onto a lever action, and it's a top eject, so I have to keep the scope forward. So I need a longer eye relief, and that's
Uh-huh.
even with people that have pistols, and they want to put a full scope on their revolver. Um, and there's not a lot of product out there with 8 to 10 inch eye relief.
Yeah.
And so, they have any thoughts of maybe making something like that?
I talked to the product development team about that. So it's basically like you're talking about something like pretty similar to a scout rifle scope, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually need to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. Did you say you need a 8 to 10 inches, I believe, right?
What I bought was I just found something. It's the only thing I could find, so I mean, it wasn't expensive or anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we actually
eight to
thought
10
about it.
8 to 10
Yeah.
inches.
Yeah, we actually thought about it, but the specification is not super clear about what the scope, a scout scope should look like. Oh, and also the pistol scope. And then I just need to write down some specifications so I can forward it to them, see if they are.
The one I
actually,
have is 3 to 12. I got the measurement. It's really not long. I don't know the measurement in my mind. I want to say it's 10 inches long, maybe overall length.
Yeah.
And there's two factors, like the one I have, I believe is 8 inch, and it worked out okay on my Rossi, but the scope is still too far back.
Yeah.
I had to compromise where it would be. So it's a top eject rifle. So
Yeah.
I had to go with higher scope mounts so the bullets would eject. So, and it worked out. I just had to get the cheek riser, and it's all worked out. So I just waiting to go. I haven't shot it yet. Okay, I just recently did that, and then on my, like, I have a pistol. It's a Dan Wesson, and I put a Picatinny rail on top of it, which is sold for the gun. It's nothing like you have to drill holes or anything.
Yeah.
And I'm doing that with a green dot, red dot, whatever. Okay. I mean, I have something cheap on it now, but I prefer a green dot. But if I could get a scout scope on it, I would like that better. And again, the one I have is 3 to 12 as far as magnification. And again, it's the length has got to be, I guess it's got to be, I mean, CW could probably answer that a little better than I can. I say 8 to 10 inches maximum length. I don't know. Okay, with an 8 to 10 inch eye relief.
Yeah. What is? Do you know the objective lens size on that?
I honestly, you got the wrong person. I don't know enough about scopes. If you give me a moment.
I would say a 32 is about.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I'm going to say 30.
Okay.
It's 32. Yeah.
Because that was going to be one of my questions was handgun scopes, and a handgun scope needs to be about 12 or more.
Yeah, more
Yeah,
like
I haven't, I was just saying 8 to 10. That's what worked on my Rossi. just keep moving the scope back till I got the picture, where it would focus and everything else. The pistol,
Handgun needs to be on out there
yeah,
12 or more.
like 12-inch, yeah.
And it also needs to have an adjustable objective.
So I guess one question would be, and I don't remember if we've asked this before or not. When picking one of the scopes up, do they have an option in the height of rings that come with it? Since it comes with rings, do they have an option? Height?
Yeah, we actually currently don't have a different rings to come with the scopes. But one good news, I think James already know that we are actually making a series of rings and mounts. They are going to be machined in 6061 or either 6061 or 6063 aluminum, which is slightly lower grade of material compared to the premium ones we're selling on Amazon right now. And then they are going to be on the shelf for people who are actually looking for like lower budget or affordable rings that come with really good quality. And then it's going to be, I wouldn't say it necessarily be cheap, but I'll consider it's affordable. It's like less than $35. And then, but we actually added the procedure we have we did with the 7075 higher premium rings. So we're going to bore the inside with the machining tool out of the factory, so that people does not need to. There's no need to lack them. And then have you guys seen the scope rings we were making before? I guess should I just make a short presentation about it?
Yeah,
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to see them. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think
Just
one of the
gonna-
things I like most about your rings is that they're not coated on the inside where it actually comes in contact with the tube of the scope.
Yeah, so let me see. I can pull it up. Okay, let me grab the page. Can you guys all see it now?
Here we go.
Yeah, this is our premium rings. We actually started the sales, I think it was earlier this year. And then this has been I would say our like a flagship product on Amazon right now. And then you can see the common rating is I think it's pretty amazing for how much we sold them. And then so this is the rings. It's made out of 7075 T6 aluminum, and they are machined in pairs. They are actually machined in pairs after it's done, and then we actually bore the inside here with one tool, so that basically ensure it's perfect, as perfectly aligned as possible for the scope tube to go through just from the factory. And then that's why you see the inside is not without the finish, because we would anodize it and then send it to the factory, and then manually assemble it on the assembly line, and then bore it with the tools. And then to make sure that when you mount the scope, when you clamp the scope on, the inside is perfectly aligned, and also it's actually close to the perfect diameter of the scope tube as possible. And then this one we actually learned from another manufacturer. I don't know if you guys know the Area 409. And then we thought about the patent and everything, but this is more of like a manufacturing procedure instead of a patent. So we can actually do it without any problem. But the difficult part, I can tell you, is to make these things. It's heck of a work of labor. So everyone who actually work on this scope needs to basically install the bolts, all the screws correctly with the torque screw, with the what is it called? The torque, torque specs, and then one by one, and then bore it, and then take it off, and then reassemble it, and then put it back in the box. So for the amount we are making these, I think people who are working on these are incredible, because I I actually did I took 1 week off to visit the factory and the facility, and then I did maybe 4 or 5 of them, and after that I was like pretty exhausted because just trying to focus on get everything right and then just through and through it just that's a lot of work. So yeah, but the reason we did that is because I think, me personally thinking, is that lapping ring is one of the, I would say it's like a pretty not always a good experience to lap ring. So if it's lapped as perfectly as possible from the factory, and then that would save you a lot of time when you mount the scopes, or even like someone said previously, it's like the inside does not have any finishes. So if you want to actually do a little bit extra work to true it to when you mount it, it's a lot easier than everything else. And also, I would say it's probably closer to actually true than any other scope rings on the market, except the ones made with the same procedure, which is Area 4 and I don't know if you guys, those rings are $280, I think, per set, and then we are coming with a little bit. We have a little bit of price advantage. I don't know if you guys can agree.
Yeah, that's a big advantage. So another thing I like about those rings is the torque specifications are printed right there on the ring. So if you crush your scope tube, it's your fault.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we do actually. So when we installed the top part of the covers of the rings in the factory, when we poured it, we actually put I think it was 35 inch-pound on to clamp them. So when we actually board it, it's a little bit. We do have a redundancy of how much you can clamp, but I'm not trying to recommend you to torque it beyond the specification. I think it's more of the concern of the scope rings would damage the tube, because most of the scope tubes are made out of 60-61 aluminum instead of 70-75. So if you over torque the rings, it's most likely to get your scope damaged before the ring actually goes bad. So that's why we actually said, okay, we need to print it, because it's just a nice thing to do for the customers when they see the rings.
And one thing, Jamie, if you pull that back up, one thing you'll see on there too at the top of the rings, they're also numbered as well. And when you guys are mounting rings, one of the big things is cross pattern as you tighten. You don't want to tighten one on each side. You got to cross pattern as you tighten. So
look at those index pins. That's awesome too, right, Scott?
These are all numbered, so you know exactly where you're at, what you're doing.
Yeah, that's an awesome ring set. It's feature packed for sure.
I would say this: if you're buying these rings to use with a different brand of scope besides Discovery optic scopes, go with the torque setting that comes with your scope, not with those. Like Arkans recommend 18 foot-pounds, so use 18
inch pounds.
Inch pounds, right?
Yeah.
Not foot-pounds. Foot-pounds will,
Yeah.
A little more. Yeah.
So I got to back it out in a toolbox and get my car ready.
You definitely strip those threads if you're doing foot-pounds.
Yeah. So that's good stuff, man. I like those. Big Al is busting, and I should have asked this first, but that first scope you showed us, is that available in MOA or is it only in mil radian?
Were you talking about the 5-25 scope I just showed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right now it's only in milliradian, because we thought most of the PR shooters do milliradian instead of mils. Instead of MOA. But we are actually considering making it in MOA, which it's just a matter of change the specs in the turrets and also the reticle. So once we collect enough information, or people actually sign up to buy the MOA version, we will crank it up and then just make a probably just to test the water first, and then see how much got sold, and then we'll make sure we have MOAs definitely in the future. And then I kind of understand why they decide to not to do it, because this 5 to 25 scope, I mean, as a company, we're actually quite new to the US market, and then we don't know like how people like it. But I mean, as soon as we deploy it inside of into the platform like Amazon or on our like, website, we already instantly know that okay, this scope is selling. So
Cool.
Yeah, I would. Big Al, if you're interested in that scope and you willing to learn mills instead of MOA. See, most of us, particularly in the South, grew up with, uh,
Cornbread and pancakes.
but this is the fact of life. Most of us grew up with cheap scopes that had mill uh, reticles and MOA adjustments and on the turrets, and that's not that we don't do that anymore. So, and that's the facts. Y'all know it's true. So, um, and I want to address this comment right here. The scope that Hillbilly showed earlier, he was shooting 12 gauge slugs with it, and it held up fine.
On a bullpup, and there's a difference between the recoil on a bullpup and a conventional shotgun. You know, quite a bit more recoil. And if that after I put several rounds through them, it was grouping. I don't know, like that at 50 yards with slugs. So
Yeah, if it's rated for 50 BMG, it's going to handle your 12 gauge slugs and anything else. And I'll be doing a review when I get the scope. I'll be doing a review with it with 35 Remington. And
Are they air gun spring rated too? Because it's air gun Springer will tear one of them up.
yeah, so we do have a series that it's called MS. That's basically what Mike was showing. That MS, I think it's 329, right? And then we actually specifically said that this line of scope is rated for Magnum Springer. That's what its MS stand for.
Okay.
And yeah, so to address that question previously, someone was talking about heavy hitters. I said, when I say rated for BMG, I actually mean it, because I think at the first phase of the testing water, we released, I think, 500 units to the US market. And then one of the gun store I was actually talking to, they actually have 3 BMG semi-automatic rifles. I assume it's Barrett. And they put 200 rounds through one of our 5 to 25 like ED scope I just showed, and then there's no shift of zero whatsoever. And then I think yeah, they put every month I think every month they put about 200-ish rounds through it, because the customer is paying for the ammo, so they can. And then I was pretty impressed of what the feedback from the gun stores, because they had tested numerous scopes before about the same price range. I mean, in between like 300 to 500, and then they haven't had any lucks, including I don't know if you guys know the SWFA super snipers. And then when they ask us to send them a scope for testing, we just say, okay, we need to test this, because when we say 50 BMG, we actually need to get it tested on 50 BMG. And then they just came back and told us after a month that after 200 rounds, and then it's holding up. And then I think I revisited with them 6 months later, and then they still saying, okay, it's still holding zero. They haven't need to adjust the zero at all. So I assume they had put probably closer to 1,000 rounds after I first talked to them. Hopefully, I mean, the barrel is probably going out first, but I would say 50 BMG is. I can pretty much confidently say it's rated for 50 BMG, and we meant it.
All right.
yeah, so yeah. How long does a 50 BMG barrel last? I don't know.
Depends on how fast.
Well,
How
I'm,
many
I'm
times they,
gonna
how many
say
fa-
if
how
you
fast
ever
they shoot.
shot one, you probably know you're not going to shoot a couple hundred rounds in a session, so it's going to last a hot minute.
It'll last forever for me because I ain't shooting it.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I
One
would
of the-
say this: if you're going to shoot 50 BMG, for heaven's sakes, use your ear protection.
yeah, and the one reason, actually, a friend of mine that lives here, that's from Iowa, he still goes back and hunts in Iowa with his dad and stuff. He literally bought one after watching that video because up there, being a straight wall jacket for deer, they use 12 gauge slugs. And he actually come up here to my house and he's like, "Can I look through that and stuff?" And so I showed him. He goes, "Yeah." He said it's plenty clear enough and everything. He liked it, and so I know he went out and bought one, just basically to put on his 12 gauge for deer hunting up there. So I think it'll work real well, like on that type of situation too. So
Very cool.
Ear protection is for wussies, man. You don't need hearing protection. What are you talking about?
What?
What is this hearing protection?
So what?
You just walk outside and pull the trigger, man. What are you talking about?
I hear you. Barely, but yeah. Him, Gabriel, I wish I knew that. I'm going to look it up. Dadgum. RTAC says 259 rounds if you're shooting tracers.
Yeah, Link, show what you got, man. We're all happy to see what you showing. So show as much as you want.
Yeah, so I prepared actually a few scope here. I don't know if you guys can see. Is it all good?
yeah, we'll get it brought up here.
Yeah, so, okay. Yeah, so these are all the scopes I think worth showing for this audience, because the first one we just talked about is the 5225. This is the one we made for PRS, and then we were planning to get into the ELR and also the bench rest area. So this is the 5240 scope, has quite a bit more magnifications, of course, a little bit higher too. But I've seen the scope, I think last time was a week ago or something, and I think it performs quite well at higher magnification beyond 25 power. So it's I think this one totally worth the price for how much magnification you are going, but it's definitely there's cost of increase. If you don't need, if you need only shooting up to maybe 1,000 yards or something, I think the 5225 is totally enough. But if you just want a more magnification for what you're doing, and then we do have this as well, something with the more magnification. Oh, I think I forgot to mention this. So when I say we do design all of our products, we actually do have an optical engineers, a team of optical engineers to do our own optics blueprint and plans. So if there's any need for us to design new scopes, we actually design our own optics, how the lens stacking and everything in-house as well. So basically, we have full control of how the clarity is going to be, and then we do survey all the markets on the market, all the other scopes from other brands on the market, and I consider this 5240 would be pretty much unbeatable until something come closer to, let's say, 36 or 35 power. And also we do have a little bit more. So this is another product that you guys can take a good look at. And this is a 5230 scope. We consider this is a little bit like the little brother to the 5225. We expect this from 5230 is because originally the optics plan blueprint was designed around this magnification. So a lot of people ask us, okay, why this lower end cheaper scope has more magnification? It's just because the the optical blueprint. We considered it to cap it from to make it 5 to 20, but what I suggested was to make it 5 to 30 power, just as it is, not to cap it, just because some people need more magnification, not for, let's say, shooting, but it's more for spotting. So I think it's appropriate to just keep it as is. This 5 to 30 is an older optical system, but it has been refined over the years. So I consider this performance about, I would say 85 to 90% of what this scope can do, and then with a little bit lower price. And then if you like a different look of the turret and everything, this is another option as well. So this HD 2212, as naming first, this is not the ED, the extra low dispersion glass, but it's HD high definition glass we source here locally in China. But I think that I consider both these two HD scopes has quite good optical clarity. It's definitely better than what you can get for the price even in the US market. And this one is the new product because we thought that a lot of people like LPBOs, like 1 to 6, 1 to 8, 1 to 10 and everything. But we just came up with an idea that if we can make a, excuse me, a scope that is same size as the LPBO, but with more magnification and start with the 2 power, so that people might like it. And then you can pair this with the top or side mounted red dot, and then to make it pretty lightweight and also competent rifle scope with pair with your maybe AR or 22s and anything short, because I consider this is a short scope as well.
Okay, what does right there after the 24 SFIR? What does that stand for?
Okay, yeah, this is SF means side focus, IR means illuminated reticle.
Okay,
so this one has a side focus. I think it goes down to 10 yard, pretty good for air gun shooter too. And then this is I consider this is a very short scope, and then I think the weight has some pretty good advantage too.
And that's a 30 millimeter tube on that one.
Yes, 30 millimeter to 24 millimeter objective. I think this one, the optic design is a little bit easier compared to maybe, let's say, 1 to 8 or even 1 to 10. It's because it starts with a 2 power, so there's no need to put a lot of stress on the optical engineers to get it like a true 1 power, so that this one can get, I consider this has quite a bit better optics performance compared to, let's say, a conventional 1 to 10s. I mean, at 10 power, this is way better than what I consider all the 1 to 10 is offering. Even I don't have any experience with the Gen 3 Vortex Razor 1 to 10, but I consider this is probably better than everything underneath that at 10 power in coming with the LPBO size, because it's coming from the 2 power, not 1.
Yeah, so if you got illuminated reticle,
Yes.
does it shut off automatically after so long?
That's one thing we are actually working on. I just talked to the engineer who is working on our electronics part of the optics 2 days ago. He's a really busy guy, and then I told him, yeah, when is our auto shut off function going to be live? He told me that the earliest is going to be first season, like before the SHOT Show next year. So yeah, we are working on it. And also, I mean, it's not difficult to do, but the circuits itself needs to withstand the recoil and also be waterproof. I mean, not waterproof, but it's more of like reliable before we actually put them on the optics. So that's the one thing we are working on right now, is just to get it reliable. The circuit design is pretty easy. So hopefully I explained it.
Yeah,
Understood. Yeah,
but I like that scope. I really
I do
like
too.
that. And so does Christian Grest, and Artak and Daughters likes that
Yeah.
too. That might be my next scope right there.
Yeah,
Surprisingly, this one sold really well in our European EU branch. I think a lot of people shoot air guns there and like these kind of short scopes. And also, I don't know how people manage to shoot this well with like highest power because this I consider I think the eye relief in iBox is acceptable at the highest magnification, but when I look at the scope in the factory, I'm able to hold it just with my offhand, and then it still holds pretty good iBox at 12 power. So I assume it should be fine, because when I first see this scope, I was like 24 millimeter objective for 12 power sounds a lot, and
Yeah.
if you guys know, like the X people is basically you use the objective size is divided by the power, so that's 2 millimeter of the what is called X people. So usually 3 millimeter and then above should be pretty easy to get, but if you cut it down to 2, it's a little bit. It might be a little bit difficult, but I mean, you have to test it with your own eyes or capabilities to see if you can like hold a steady offhand and everything. But when I saw this scope, I was pretty surprised. It actually, the eye box is actually really, it's quite, I wouldn't say it's forgiving, but it's definitely more than acceptable for, even if you can shoot it offhand. I mean, I can shoot it offhand with at 12 power on the scope for sure. So
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a lot of horsepower there, really, for what amounts to an LPVO, and I had just stuck one on my Ruger PC9 takedown rifle because it almost demands a short scope,
yeah.
and I like this one better than what I put on. It's got a lot of nice features.
Yeah. So I was actually talking to the team that operates our website, and then we're considering. So hopefully I don't offend anyone here. We are considering to bump up the price for this scope because the sales and demand is not what we were expecting, and this scope is actually going out much faster than we expected, because we're actually still testing water with this design here, but it turns out to be extremely popular. Starting the US market is getting attraction, but in EU side, it's just going out like crazy fast. So
If you could make that scope with a 10-inch eye relief, you would sell it.
yeah.
Yeah, you sell
Yeah,
one anyway.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, for a pistol,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that's what I'm talking about for the pistol, making it a scout scope type thing. But
yeah. I wrote the specification down just when you guys were talking, and then I'll definitely forward this to our product team to just let them know, hey, we have some really important friends here is wanting this scope, and then we need to talk about this. So
well, the scout scope is going to be Thompson Contender is opening up again. So you're talking, short barrel pistols, or short barrel rifle, pistol grip, whatever you want to call them. And there's two guys that recently did the 300 blackout, Tim and UJ. And Tin Man put up a video just last week or whatever about his scope. What a nightmare, So something that there's two people there with they'll probably take an immediate interest in something. Me, I bought something. I don't know how good it is yet.
See, the thing about that, if I may, Andy, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. The thing about a scout scope like that, it's got to have that extended eye relief, but you don't need that much magnification.
Right.
But if you could take that scope and add the eye relief, you get to choose where you put the power. They've got the optics already built. All they got to do is figure out the eye relief.
Yeah.
The one I bought's 3 to 12. And,
my point is, if you're talking about range shooting, yeah, that 12 power would be nice. But as far as hunting is concerned, and CW can jump in here, one of the things you want lower eye relief for is quick target acquisition, because you're in the woods and, where I hunt, and I think where CW hunts as well, we don't necessarily have a lot of long range shots. Like the longest shot on a deer I've ever made's been 196 yards. So, where that 12 power would be good at that range, and maybe even more would be good too. the thing is, when you see a deer in the woods, it's usually not that far away. So what you need is that lower power range to get you on that target quickly. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying.
Agreed.
3 power. You just, no, that ain't a lot.
Yeah, older traditional scout scopes are 2 3/4. You know, they're a little over, just a little more than our eyes are. So they're 2 power, 2.5 power. When they started making them with big variables, I was really surprised that there was actually a market for it because
Well, the guy
it
that's,
defeats the use of it.
well, if you're going hunting, you got to set low. If you're target shooting, you set it where you want. So,
No, I understand the use of it, but if you read Cooper's books and all that, what a scout scope was designed for and to be, it's totally out of the realm of what it's
Right.
supposed to be.
you know,
But yeah, okay, we're closing in on time for our verse of the week. So, any
Oh,
any of
boy.
y'all got any more questions for Link?
The only thing I want to say is, like if you do a handgun scope, don't do a preset parallax, because most of them are set at 35 yards. Well, I don't shoot that close with my pistols. I shoot from 50 to 200 yards. So you need something adjustable.
I
Parallax,
kind of
yeah.
I agree with CW. If you're going to use it for a hunting scope, or even if you're going to shoot silhouette or anything like that with a TC, you got to mount it on there. Any variation of power setting, that goes against you in the competitive world when you have a real high power setting on a pistol scope. So anywhere between I'd say three and well, actually 1 to 4 power on a pistol scope with a long eye relief, and then with an adjustable objective lens. And I think you'd probably hit the market probably for the TC contender as far as hunting and silhouette use.
Well, up to 7 is good for me. I can use 7.
Yeah, Burris made a line of handgun scopes that they had some big power. They had some really high power.
Well, that's what I've got
Yeah.
on my XP 100 is a Burris, 2.5 to 7.
Yep.
And I hunt with it on 7. But then again, I hunt further distances than most people.
Well, and one thing with the distance on hunting, majority of us we're not out west where you can have super long range shots. We're in the woods. We're in those kind of rural areas, and so most of our shots are going to be within 200 yards. And most of us ethically are not going to shoot past that anyway, just to make sure we get a good shot. So the scopes that these guys are offering, and there's a lot of good scopes out there in general, but the scopes that are being offered out here from Link and Discovery Optics, they got some nice stuff out there. So definitely good options.
Yeah, Christian says typically 1 to 200 yards. Broke Loader says 60 yards, and
Yeah, back when I was hunting out here, and I'm as far west as you can get, but our hunting here when I did hunt was in our California coastal mountain range, and the mountains are decent. We got 8,000 feet close by to me, and it's rugged, up and down, up and down, up and down, hills and valleys, and the vegetation is chaparral and oak, and a long shot for me with the 30-30 was 100 yards. So I had no scope at all. I used iron sights, and for the same reason, quick acquisition. It was right there, and I lost deer with the scope. But
Even
I
where
don't
I
hunt anymore. So.
even where I normally hunt, I can shoot out 300-400 yards easy. But the last 2 deer I killed was at 65 yards.
There you go. Yeah.
I had to
Right.
step away for 1 second, but Link, or I don't know if you've talked about this or not, or if you're able to, about your leveling system for your scopes.
Yes, we don't have any news or update on that product, but I can let me see if I can find the picture actually. I've let's see if I can actually find it. Okay, I actually got it. Okay, let me share the screen really quick. Do you guys know anything about the MDT Senate electronic level by chance?
Not I. No.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of
I'm
it.
gonna show you guys that one as well. Just 1 second. Let me pull it up. Send it. So basically, the idea is when you shoot long range, the cant of the rifle can mess up with your shots. So what the MTT came up with was basically it's an electronic level, and then with the LED like the green, the red, and the blue lights to indicate how much cant are you putting onto your rifle. And let's see, share screen. This one here. Can you guys see it?
No, not yet.
Okay.
There we come.
Yeah, so what they did was they put this level, you can mount it on basically pretty much anywhere, and then this one is mounted underneath the scope on the left side to the shooter. So when you see, okay, when you have a cant on the rifle, it indicates, okay, with a red
Oh,
or
cool.
green light, and then you can adjust accordingly. And I think there's a knob to adjust the brightness, and then when it's green, that means you are within, let's say, half of a degree of with left and right, so you should be able to hit your target. And then if left, it's red, and then if it came to the right, it's blue. And then this one, I don't know if can you guys see the price? It's I think
Yeah,
it's quite.
$29.
I think it's quite good, like a nice product, but this one does not cost like I'd say $50 to make. So, and then what we are trying to come up with is I consider like a much improved version of what they were trying to do with the let's see here. Can you guys see it now?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So this one is with a LCD, like colored LCD screens, and then we're going to implement pretty much similar functionality as what the MDT level is trying to do. And basically, it's going to be a level like a screen that can show the leveling of your scope, and also if you're shooting PRS or even like trying to level your scope, we are putting the function to show both the timer and also the how much degree, what's the number of the degree you're hinting, so that when you actually mount your scope, you get like exact numbers, like basically round up to thousands, trying to basically we're giving you as much information as possible. So when you use this, you can use it as a leveling tool, the level for shooting or competition, and also a timer. And then you can there are 5 different modes. 5 different modes you can switch in between. We have competition mode showing the leveling and also the timer, and then we have non-competition mode, which is only showing the level, and then the leveling kit function, which shows the exact degree you're hinting, rounded up to is accurate up to thousands. So that's what we are trying to do. And also the batteries come with the MDT Senate. I consider it's not enough for 1 day of competition. So we are using two AAA batteries in our products, so that you can basically we're going to expect this to last a whole day of competition, which is closer to 8 hours. I mean, we consider it's 8 hours. And then all the mounting accessory is pretty much standard and similar to what MDT is doing. You can mount it on top of your rings, underneath on the Picatinny rail, or the side of the scope rings and everything. And then 3 buttons instead of just 1 knob with this device here.
Are you
One
able to turn that facing the rear so that you can see it from behind the rifle?
Yes. It's facing towards you, like it's showed on the picture here.
Now, one question for you on that. Will that fit any scope, or is that specific just to Discovery scopes?
So we are making one for our scope interface. Like this is our new competition one-piece mount with the 3 bolts, and also this front we call it dashboard, diving board, picketing rails on the front, and then the mounting interface. This mounting interface is the same as the rail on the front, but we will definitely include the interface contact in to pair with the picketing rail, so that I consider everyone can use it. But for now, it's only our scope rings. So I mean mounts and rings.
Okay, I've got to get to the verse of the week really quick, like, and hopefully we can come back and see a few more things after that. So, one thing I was impressed, and I don't know if we can say this, so maybe I ought not say it.
You're the
We'll
boss. Say what you want.
I'm not the boss of nothing, man. I'm the guy behind the curtain that matches buttons for all you guys. So that's my role. So we've been going through the Sermon on the Mount. We're all the way up to chapter 7. Last week we talked about beware of false prophets. If we go back further than that, we talked about the golden rule in verse 12, do what you would have others do to you.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about narrow is the way that leads to everlasting life, and wide and broad is the way that leads to destruction. Last week we talked about verses 15, 16, and 17. The quick recap there. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. Verse 16 there says, you will know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles? Even so, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. So we're going to pick this up in verses 17 and 18 and go through verse 20. Even so, every good tree bears good fruit, but a bad tree bears bad fruit. A good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor a bad tree bear good fruit. And that's a tongue twister. You got to be careful what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Then when we go to verse 19, it says, every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. In verse 20, therefore, by their fruits you will know them. So go back up here to verse 17, and this is pretty plain and simple. It's a good tree bears good fruit. A bad tree bears bad fruit. And the metaphor there is in a man. Is a good person will be known by their good works. Not that their good works are going to make them or turn them into a good person. It's indicative of the inward nature of that person, just like the tree that's bearing good fruit. And let me give you, for instance, when I was a little boy, my granddad would come and get me and make me go cut my great grandmother's grass. His mother was still alive when I was a little boy. And there was an old tree in her side yard it was a Granny Smith apple tree. But back then it was just a green apple tree. We didn't have enough sense to know what a Granny Smith was back then. So it was an old tree, and it bared apples every single year, but it had used up the nutrients in that soil, and it was an old tree that needed to be cut down. But I'd get out there and eat 4 or 5 of those little green apples until and it needed to be cut down. So when we talk about a good tree cannot bear bad fruit, nor a bad tree bear good fruit, it's not about the tree so much. It's about the inward nature of a human being that Jesus is talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get down to verse 19 here, where it says, every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. Well, that apple tree needed to be cut down and thrown into the fire. But nowadays I would cut it down and cut it up and used it smoking meat because that apple is
It's hard to
best.
beat, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then verse 20 here, Jesus is just reiterating what he said up there at the start, and you will know them by their fruits. And again, we're not talking about judging people. It's he's telling us to beware of prophets, false prophets, and if you will see that they're inwardly they are ravenous wolves by the kind of fruit that they bear. In other words, their works will tell on them. You know, Moses says in the Pentateuch that, you know, be sure your sins find you out. The evidence of a person's true character will come forth sooner or later. They can't hide it, and that's what Jesus is talking about here. Because way back in verse 1 of chapter 7, he tells us, "Judge not, lest ye also be judged." So what we're looking at here is we're talking about protecting ourselves, our families, and the church, capital C Universal, from these people that are going to do harm rather than good. And I hope that makes sense. Any questions or comments?
So I'm going to comment, and I usually don't comment on this stuff, but I'll comment. So one thing that comes up with this particular one would be, look at everyone out there on the YouTube. There are so many people that are fake, and they're not who they are unless they're on the tube. And you guys will see it with all of us. Every one of us, we are who we are, and we're no different here than we are in real life. But there's a lot of people out there on the tube that throw out this particular personality, and you only see it on the tube. In real life, they're totally freaking different.
Well, I am like 10 pounds lighter, you know, camera puts 10 pounds.
Yeah. There is that.
No. See, you're not 10 pounds lighter, man. You got 20 pounds just a freaking hard seltzer.
I got a comment. I've made this comment before because I happen to be one of those probably millions of Christians who like the Sermon on the Mount. You know, St. Matthew has brought us so much, but one of the things that I like about this is that this book of the Bible has brought us so many sayings and adages and morals and guide-ons that have always been a part of my everyday life. And maybe it's just me, but you know, in here we got an eye for an eye, we got wolf in sheep's clothing, we got the golden rule, and here we're looking at don't judge a book by its cover. Go look and see what's inside. You know, the only book you can judge by its cover is this one right here. And it's not much of a cover to look at. But what's in it is what you want to know. And it's the same thing with men. You know, I think you have to judge people. If you're going to judge, look at how they are, not how they appear. And how they are is going to be characterized by the deeds that they do. And I won't give it away here if you're not familiar with the chapter, but in the next couple verses, we're going to hear what Jesus has to say about, hey, it ain't what you say, it's what you do. You know, that's going to count when it's time to do the counting. All right. So that's kind of me. You know, I read through these passages and I think, yeah, that's the way I was reared. That's the way I was brought up, with all of these adaptations of this word in this chapter. There's so much in here, and this is one that always strikes me as and I hate to say don't judge a book by its cover, because we're saying don't judge at all, but regard a person by their deeds, not by what they say they're going to do. Wait till the doing is done, and then regard that person.
And I'll say this about what Scotsman said: the scripture's not wrong, because eventually the true nature of that person comes out, and if you get to
Yep,
know them well enough, you'll see who they really are.
that's
Oh,
And
exactly what he was saying.
yeah,
and you know, I want to add something else. I want to add something else too. Okay, you know, as you guys know, I've had a hard time. It seems like every single corner of my life runs right into falling down the stairs. You know what I mean? And you know, some people would probably say, "Well, you know, Dave's must be, you know, a bad tree. He's bearing bad fruit." That's not necessarily the truth either, because you know, you again, it goes back into judgment, because somebody could be trying as hard as they can. They're having a struggle. They're having a spiritual war going on in their life where they're being attacked. They're being attacked by, you know, the dominion of evil, because they are extremely pissed off that you are serving Christ and you put Him first and you put God first and you have changed, you know, your direction in your life. And these things come, these trials come because, like I said, it's dominion of evil comes against you. So don't think because somebody's having hard things happening in their life that they're a bad person. They're not. They're having a spiritual war. We need to pray for our brothers and sisters out there that are going through that. You know, I mean, we really do, because you know, dude, I'm telling you what, it's very apparent. I think the whole thing with bearing bad fruit, you know, I'll tell you what, you'll see people out there that they have a facade. It's like what Scotsman said. They have a fakeness about them that they're able to play every day, and they play other people on that fakeness, and it's a facade. And they draw people into their life, and they take advantage of those people, and it's because they are the way they are. But if you look in their life, you can see where their marriages didn't work out. They don't have relationships with their children. Their children is constantly in trouble with the law or whatever. You know, they have huge problems in their life, and like Jamie says, you know, I mean, a bad tree will bear bad fruit. It just touches every part of their life.
I was kind of told about this way I was brought up through church. I'll keep it real quick. A lot of times in the wintertime around here, trees don't bear fruit. So most people don't know when they're looking at a tree, they can't tell the difference between an apple tree and a persimmon. And until that fruit comes on, then people can tell the difference between an apple tree and a persimmon tree. And so what I was taught is that fruit shows you what's inside that tree, what it is. And I mean, I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's kind of
Oh
what
yeah,
I was told.
that's a good analogy, Mike. I like that. It's absolutely correct.
yeah, you bite into a persimmon, you'll be able to tell pretty dang quick, though.
Especially if it ain't right.
Yeah.
Yeah, your mouth will turn inside out. So I really like Link's comment. I believe that the grace of God is strongest power that can truly change the nature of a human. And that does come through repentance. Repentance comes from conviction of the Holy Spirit. You got to understand that you need to change and that you need God in your life. I'm not sure a sick tree can be healed. Maybe if you got some good arborists out there, they can do something for it. But I know that God is in the business of changing people
Hmm.
from the inside out. There's Alaskan Ballistics. What's up, my brother?
Boy, I haven't seen him in a while.
I need
There's
to get
Chuck.
Alan
on.
D Pro too.
I need to get on his live stream, and he sent me a link last time, but it was so late I couldn't get on. He's over in Alaska, so that'd be like me being on Link's live stream. So
Yeah.
let's go
Out
through the
here.
room. Let's clear the deck for Gizzard Gary. He's coming up here at 10 Eastern, and let's start with Hillbilly as is customary because he's got to go punch buttons for Gary.
Oh man. First of all, thanks for having me on here. I appreciate it. Enjoy you guys so much. What a great way to start the weekend. Always a great panel and side chat. I just love it. Anyway, yeah, I got some videos coming up here and there. Of course, tomorrow night is Guns, Beer, and Therapy, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. And we'll be talking about raising the fundraiser for Scotsman, and we'll be showing some more of the prizes that's going to be given out and let people know how they can get over there to donate, to enter, to have a chance to win those. I'm talking right now. Will you be hush up? Anyway, yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for everything. Hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and it's been great visiting with you again, Link, and this is awesome, brother.
So, if those of you who hadn't seen it over on the Rumble channel, on both mine and Hillbilly's Rumble channel, there's another prize added, and I won't tell you what it is because we can't tell you because we're on YouTube. But one thing I forgot to put on there, this goes with it. So if you've not seen the Rumble video, get over there and check it out. It's on either mine or Hillbilly, either one's YouTube channel. And
Does the receptacle that plugs into go with it?
I will say this. So knowing what you're doing with that, I will throw in some Zeta 6 speed reloaders for that prize.
Ooh,
Wow, that's awesome.
this is HKS, and this is just a little cheap old one. But yeah,
cool,
man,
cool.
that's a 5-shot thing. So
Oh, it's
I got something I want to bring up, and now that Jamie and Hillbilly are here, when and whose channel is it all going to boil down to? What night and whose channel is going to have, the drawing and all that?
We explained all that on those videos, the
It's
time,
gonna
the
be-
date, and everything. The 10th of which would be next Saturday, it'll be on Guns, Beer, and Therapy on Hillbilly Up channel. And you do have to be present to win, and we will shut off. You can still donate after that, but as far as the gifts, the prizes go, that you can be, entered in to win, we'll shut that off at midnight Central Time on the 9th, so Friday night, which would be basically this time. That way we can get everybody's name on the wheel.
Right.
So that's going to be on your channel, right, Hillbilly? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. What time again?
It's 9 Central, 10 o'clock Eastern.
9 Central, 10 o'clock. So about 8 o'clock out here on the
7 o'clock for us is when his show starts.
7 o'clock out for us out here. Okay.
Yeah, for Pacific. Yep.
All right. Cool.
very good. Thanks, Hillbilly. Appreciate you. Let's go down to Texas 6 and see what he's got coming up this coming week.
Oh, not a lot. I'm trying to go to the range tomorrow if I can. Maybe that night, Sunday, shooting a 22. But all the thing I got planned besides working.
I've got 2 Wolf Spring kits headed this way for, and something that was said earlier in this show. I think revolvers were considered pistols until 1911, and then it all changed.
Then it all changed. Yeah.
All right. So, Scotsman, what you got working on this week?
So this week, I'll hopefully get this pistol light review done. Like I said, I'm waiting on the company getting back with a response to my observations, and we'll see what they say. I actually have a thermometer coming so I can see exactly how hot it's getting. Because I really want to show you guys, because the sucker gets freaking hot. So I wanted to show it and be honest, 110% with it. You guys know me; I don't mess around with this stuff. So when they contacted me, I told them straight up, if it's a piece of shit, I'm going to tell them it's a piece of shit, and they're like, okay, that's fine. Okay, so here we go, and this is the realm we get into when it comes to stuff like this. These companies will reach out and say, hey, we'll send you this, that, the other, and then they don't like what ends up coming out. And sometimes it works out great, sometimes it works out really bad, but it is what it is with that. So we got that going on. And then again, as far as we have x-rays done, and we got the orthopedic on Tuesday. So hope to have some more answers here pretty soon as to exactly what's going on and get things figured out. Huge thank you to everyone out there. I'm blown away by you guys, really. I never asked for it. Hillbilly knows I'm not happy about it. Jamie knows I'm not happy about it. But it is very, very, very much appreciated. And we're dang near close to Bubba and myself drinking a hard seltzer, and I'm not happy about that.
Very
Well,
good.
And Bubba's taking it to a whole nother level. So
yeah.
Yeah, grapefruit hard seltzer with milk duds.
Oh man, I think that grapefruit one was the one that I tried to drink that last time. It dang near killed me. That's the terrible stuff. That ought to be outlawed.
Yeah.
Worldwide. That's nasty.
it should all be outlawed.
That stuff's nastier than a skinned mule and twice as ugly. Oh, it's bad.
But we'll have a couple videos this week. But always appreciate being here. Appreciate everyone out there jumping in and helping out. Again, I never asked for it, never wanted it, but it is very, 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 very much appreciated. Thank you to Link and Discovery Optics for jumping in and being a part of it as well. That means a lot to me. So thank you guys. Really do appreciate it. I always appreciate being here.
Very good.
Thanks for having me.
And well, let's go on over to Link. Link, we thank you for being our special guest tonight. Is there anything else you want to tell us?
I think I pretty much did everything I planned, and I wrote down the specifications you guys put up together for the pistol and scout rifle scope, and then I'll make sure I forward it to the product development team. Thank you everyone for your ideas, and also great sermon, and then I really enjoyed it, and then that always remind me to read my scriptures because I'm surrounded by non-believers here. So and yeah, hope you all have a good weekend, and I think that's pretty much it. Thank you, friends. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I would be in jail if I lived where you did, Link, because I can't be quiet about that.
That's a good point to include people like Link and other countries in your prayers because they can't be open about it.
Well, here's another thing too. He lives in a country that's manufacturing products where there isn't any real consumer base, really, and so it must be a really hard thing for marketing and research and development. You're relying on places like Canada, the United States. Countries that people are free to own firearms, giving you feedback about it, and the economy in the United States, as well as everybody else, that we are facing inflation here. But the thing is that if you can get quality for a decent price, you're going to sell scopes. That's just the way it is. You're going to sell scopes. I mean, there are a lot of people that are going to start off with just a Ruger American, and they're going to want to buy a scope for it, and they don't have a lot of money. but they want to see what it's going to be able to do. And your company is offering, good quality for a good price and good customer support and technical support as well. So that I wish you guys really good luck with that, Link. I really
Yeah,
do.
thank you. Yeah,
Um,
if I can add a little bit to that, because when I was doing my college degree in the States, I always wanted to go out and shoot and also maybe compete. But the one thing really concerns me is like, okay, I'm competing with these guys with like Night Forces, 10 Thetas, Vortex Razors, everything. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm in a big at a disadvantage in my equipment. And then that's one of the reasons I like Discoveries, because what we are offering, especially for the competition related stuff, is like we're trying to close the gap in between the starter or even like the people who has less budget compared to someone who's like really invested into the sports. Because my ideal is like when you go into the competition, it's you that makes the difference instead of your equipment. So one of the reasons that I think, just my opinion, that PRS is still, I would say, growing is because the later companies like Discovery or even Arkin, that's what we are trying to do, is to basically offer people, close the gap in terms of the performance for inside of the sports, that people can actually think, okay, I might get a chance to beat that guy with the $3,000 Night Force because I'm actually a good shooter.
So I had one other question for you, and I meant to bring it up, but we got into the verse and stuff. So on the electronic leveler, what is the warranty on that? Is that still a lifetime warranty, or are your electronic stuff a little bit different as far as warranty?
Okay, that's a tough question, because we actually surveyed the market for electronics warranty last month or so, and then we decided to do a little bit better than most people. I think the best electronic warranty I've seen is actually, I think it's from Vortex. They have a 5-year warranty, and then we are actually going to the initial plan is we're going to do the same as Vortex, like 5 years. But I was trying to convince them to do a 10-year, but I don't know like how would it go. I'd say right now it's going to be 5 years or more.
Very cool.
It's because the standard of the industry is I think if you look on the website, let's say Primary Arms, what is called 6, and then most of them are doing 2 or 3, and then 5 is a little bit more than 2 or 3 in numbers, and I would say like 5 or more. That's what we're expecting, but hopefully we can. I can make it work to get them to do like maybe a 6 or 10 or something like that, but 5 at minimum.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
let me say something real quick, and then we'll go forward here. And we're way over time. Gary's going to shoot me. If y'all are interested in anything you've seen, you can go to Amazon and search Discovery Optics, or you can just Google search Discovery Optics, and they'll take you straight to their website. And it's a very slick looking website.
Yep.
So, Walter, what you got working on this week?
Real quick, let's see. Monday, you will see the next in the series of the Dillon RL550B that I refurbished. Kind of the final chapter of that's coming up. We'll put it all back together and add some add-on stuff, some upgrades to that press. I've been using it. In fact, I filmed some more use with that today with some 44 special loads, and that video will show up. I about had it with YouTube between you and me and the fence post, and we're going to make some changes here in Casa de Viejo about how we do business with YouTube. But that's down the road for now. And check me out on Rumble, Walter Bunning, all one word. Search me over there. You'll find us there. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's where I think we're all going to wind up. Thorzax, what you got working on this week?
Well, as you know, I've been working on a project with my 303. Going to go ahead and cast the bullets for it. I got to get some suitable powder. There are some powders that I already possess that I'm going to go ahead and try. I'm going to try matching the velocities in the Mark 6, velocity between like 1,900 to 2,000 feet per second, which should be a problem. But it's basically just a round, so I go out and shoot the rifle and not go out and invest $1 million in ammunition. Ammunition has just completely got crazy in price. And I'm hoping that this will make the brass last a little bit longer. 303 British is really hard on the brass. But that's about it. Just going to my physical. Oh, I got a week off from my physical therapist. She's out of town right now. So when she comes back, I'll get started back on that. But yeah, I got a week off from going to physical therapy. So I got some time that I can heal up a little bit. She's been driving me real hard. I've been sore. Praise the Lord, man. I'm still alive. Wake up, get up, go out there, face the day. I'm telling you, it's been good times for me. It really has.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here, Dave, and we hope we see some videos out that 303. But if you do them on Rumble, brother. That's I hate to say that, but if you want to do that type of video, Alaskan Ballistics is going to the range. So that gets us to CW. What do you got working on? I know you're not going to be doing videos.
There's no videos from me for a while, so can't comment much there. But we'll see what I do over on Rumble. I do have a site over there as well, CW Longshot, over on Rumble, and I do post there regularly. Most of my stuff that's on here is on over there, unless I have a problem uploading. But I'll be out fishing tomorrow, so that should be pretty good, and we'll see what Sunday brings. Supposed to have some rain here, so maybe inside at the bench or something. But I'm okay. I just you won't hear from me on here for a while.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a shame, buddy. So sorry to hear that.
It's time that we have some of our elected officials investigate the withholding of our Second Amendment and First Amendment rights on certain platforms. And I'm stopping short of calling any names, but I think I will be in touch this coming week with my representative, and y'all all know who she is. So I'll give her office a call on Monday. So we want to thank y'all for being here. You still got time to get over to Gizzard Gary. Tell him I'm sorry I ran my mouth so long. Thanks for Link showing up. We hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night, y'all.
God bless everyone.
Yeah,